I don't know how much value I have in this universe, but I do know that I made a few people happier than they would have been without me. And as long as I know that, I'm as rich as I ever need to be.
Hey kid, what time is it?
It's time to refresh.
Back once again with another podcast. This is episode 56 of the It's Time to Refresh podcast. Something a bit different today. We've got the first band on. We've had duos and that on before, but this is the first time we've had a band on. I discovered these online, as I think many people who's watching, who's involved with my sort of scene, will have seen. I've seen them share videos and stuff like that. So this is Acoustic Odds. How you doing? All right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I just thought I'd reach out to them and get them on the podcast and let them tell their story, because to be honest with you, when I was doing my research on them, because I thought, I like that tune, and it turns out I like 6 or 7 of the tunes, and I was like, don't know much about them, and I can't find much online, so I thought, I'll just make the content then, so that everyone else can see it. So, how are you doing? All right?
Yeah, we're good. Thanks,
Nice to
Brad.
be on. Thanks for that.
Right, because there's 3 years on this as well, it's going to be a bit harder, but what did you have for tea last night? We'll start with you.
Jeez, what I don't even remember last night. I had a late McDonald's, like 11 p.m.
Right.
Talking, yeah.
What's your
Quick
order?
McDonald's, usually double cheeseburger.
Is that it?
I know, I branched out last night and I had a spicy McTasty.
He hardly eats
But it
anything.
wasn't great, mate. No.
Right, go on.
I'm not gonna.
What did you have?
I had cheeky Nando's.
Chicken Nando's. What's your
Last
order?
night as well.
Yeah.
And today. Made the money.
I
Class.
wish it was.
So, what did you have? What's your order?
I had a sunset burger,
Not
which
bad.
is lovely. I didn't have any extras either. I just had chips. And that was it.
What sauce do you go for when did you get it?
It's got to be pernese, isn't it?
Right. Not
But
bad.
hot on the chicken.
Right. Nice.
A bit of
Nice.
spice, you know.
What about you? What did you have for tea last
Dead
night?
easy, a chicken dinner.
Chicken dinner?
Yeah, man.
Winner. That is a winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Absolutely, every time. So I've come down to Widnes today and basically just want to get your story. So where did it, right back at the beginning, where did it all start for you? Where, like, pre the band, obviously I want to know who you are as individuals, so who discovered the music
So,
first?
I mean, you were getting the band together initially, so I feel like it should start with you.
Right,
Definitely.
okay. The band started pretty much. I was in. So, first I got into music when I was younger, just singing and that in school, and was like in the choir and stuff like that. And then
Was
after,
you?
yeah,
I didn't know.
the choir.
You're all discovering yourself
the
today.
choir was only in like the last 2 years of primary school. We went out and done a competition, so that was my first taste of doing stuff in public, which was nerve-wracking. And then I'd done a little bit of music in school, but nothing. It was, nobody knew it was the singing and anything.
Yeah.
And then when I was 17, I found the guitar and started doing that.
Right, so when you were growing up, what like when you said you got into music, and what music were you getting into?
Well, I was listening to like old Backstreet Boys and stuff, Mariah Carey, and Whitney Houston, all the big like power singers,
Yeah.
and just trying to imitate them really.
Right.
So that's what I was into until I was about 14 or something, and then I was getting into the bands then, Oasis and
Right.
The Verve and everyone.
What sort of years were this then? When you were say 14 secondary school age, what sort of age were you? What sort of years were
It'd be 1998. would it?
So you've got the
1998.
Britpop era, really, essentially, like the, as you said, the
Oh,
Verve,
yeah.
Oasis.
Yeah, I was late to that party. I'm
Yeah.
sure you were. You
I
must
was
have been
down
well
into
earlier.
it. Yeah.
Well earlier. He was still having milk out the bottle when he was in Oasis.
Yeah, man.
So go on then. What's your background in? I know we talked off the pod. And you've all got 3 different backgrounds in what you
Yeah.
like. So
I was just bedroom guitarist till I was about 10, I think it was, and then there was a few of us. We were all into music because of this kid that me and him knew. Me and him met a kid called Macca.
yeah,
And his mum was massive into it. She used to take us watching bands everywhere, so we were like hooked into music when we were dead young, you know what I mean?
that's class.
And then it was just a case of my mum and dad were good enough to get me a drum kit for Christmas. And no one else's mum and dad would. So I
It'd drive you
just
absolutely
became a
mad.
drummer by default like that. But I've just always been into music, yeah. Love
I've
punk
got a
rock and-
4-year-old, right, and I can tell you now he's not getting a drum set. Like,
It sounds like you're kicking him down a flight of stairs for about 6 months, yeah. It's hard work, like,
he's
yeah.
loud already. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't want to add to it. What about yourself? What's your background in music?
So I was quite late learning. I was about 17, I think, when I went to school with Adam's brother, John. and he said his brother, obviously Adam, was after a guitarist. I'd not long started learning. I was about 12 months in. The guy that taught me guitar was actually the guy whose stag do we were on for, like, the Hole in the Moon video. So he taught me guitar, like, back in the early days, and then...
Big shout out to Jimmy Murphy, by the way. What a legend you are.
Class.
For putting that video on the internet.
Got me a job, brother.
Class. We'll get into that. That's because I've got so many questions about that, to be honest with you. But yeah, so you've got like a varied background and stuff. Are you all local lads?
Yeah.
Like you from this area?
Yeah, we're all from Widnes, yeah.
What was it like musically growing up then? Is there a lot going on within your area?
Yeah, this town's always been buzzing with loads of bands on it.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of Liverpool and Manchester. aren't we?
Yeah.
So you've got the Beatles one side, Oasis, and all the rest of them on the other side.
Yeah. Well, you're
And
not
then
far
we're
away from thing, are you? Is it what was it? 1990. I'm going to sound so.
Spike Island.
Spike Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally 2 miles down the road. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so you could have caught that if you were old enough, I suppose. But
I just was too young for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, who met who first? Where does it all start for you?
Sadly to say, it's this guy in the middle.
Right.
Yeah, well, me and Bevo.
Origin stories, yeah.
Me and Bevo go back a long time. Since we were, I don't know, it might have even been before primary school, before high school.
Yeah.
But definitely like 11, you know what I mean?
Right.
We went different high schools, but we sort of had the same group of mates outside of school.
Yeah.
And we met then, didn't we, mate?
We did.
And we
Yeah.
played rugby together and all the rest of that. But not long after meeting each other, my mate Macca, who went my school, who was on about before, asked did I want to audition for the band that they were in, called Shed Bevin. So I turned up at Bev's house, and he's shed in the back garden, and he's got a little drum kit and all that in there. And they auditioned me, and I sang Oasis. And just at the end of it, they were like, yeah, it's good, like, but can you sing it? I was like, I did sing it. No, you didn't, you just talked it. So, and then he kicked me out of the band, and my music dreams were shattered until I was 17.
Did you pop a knock it on there as well?
Get out my shed. you cannot sing. Out. And that was it, mate. I didn't look back then. I thought, oh no. Yeah.
What did you think of him at the time?
No, do you know what? I liked him because I've always liked him. Yeah. But it wasn't a case of like he can't sing. It was just like
he's not right for our band.
No, it wasn't even that. He was petrified. He come in for the singing audition with a fucking keyboard under his arm. Seriously, because I went, what have you brought that for? He went, I can play this as well, put that down. You don't need to do that, you need to sing, stand up there and sing. But he was like that, and we were just, I don't know, we were fucking full of ourselves. We thought we were going to be like away.
You thought you were going to be Oasis?
I thought I was going to be the next Ginger Liam Gallagher, so no, but I can't even remember it proper. I just remember telling him to get out of my shed. No, I can't
hard to please, I
can't remember, but yeah, he certainly fucking proved me wrong anyway, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, that was way back then anyway. Yeah. He asked the like origins of the story, didn't he?
Yeah, so what the whole story of the band? Yeah, so then anyway, I was in a band, but the band sort of split up, went two separate ways. Yeah. And me and the bass player started a new band, but we were looking for a guitarist and a drummer. And my brother suggested.
That was 05, that was when
2005, yeah. And my brother suggested and said a lad I went to school with was dead good on the guitar, but he's not been playing it very long. Yeah. And I was thinking, all right, okay. And anyway, he said,
you made me audition, by the way.
Yeah, I made him audition. The only problem was he was amazing. So anyway, we met in the park, Vicky Park, down the road.
Right.
Couple of drinks, literally sunny day, big grass field in the middle. Sat in the middle of that with the guitars, and he gets the guitar out and starts playing it, and I'm just like that straight away.
Judging?
No, judging. I didn't need to fucking judge. It was immediately like, yeah, all right, you're in. You know what
did you play out of interest?
You know what? I don't even remember.
Can you remember what he played?
I remember what you sang. Then you sang some Radiohead, didn't you?
Radiohead, Creep, all the songs.
A bit of this.
Yeah. That's how we met.
Yeah.
Was that your first taste of a band then, was it?
Yeah, I'd only been playing, like I say, about 6-12 months, and then straight into the band. I was the younger one as well.
Yeah. And then we found the drummer, didn't we?
The boy.
And then he was the boy.
He was in school. As we were,
Danny boy.
We were going around, like, O2 academies and things gigging, and like he's got to be up for school the next day and things.
Yeah, so if we were all old enough to drink and stuff, and yeah, he'd be with us there at the O2 Academy, like sold out or whatever, and there you go, he'd be going to school the next day. And we were like, how mad is that? He's 15, he's literally going in the morning, he'll be going in class going, yeah, I was at the O2 playing last night with the band.
Hey, coolest kid in school though, definitely.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah.
So, as it stands, from what I can gather, you are like, it seems to be a similar pattern when I get like successful people, and it's always usually like a 18-year success essentially. Like it's over 18-year overnight success because because you have got success now, and people think you just pop out of nowhere because you have a viral video or two, and it's like, no, you've been grafting, as you say, since 2005. So
and a lot of people assume that.
Yeah,
really, that it's just that it was the video.
That you walked in a pub, sung a song for the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
time
Like,
ever,
oh,
and
yeah.
again. Yeah.
And like,
although you do watch that video and you think, is that? I can't tell if that's planned or is it.
Oh no,
It's dead good,
it was
isn't it?
100% not planned, and I didn't even realise until the following day when he said that he posted this video.
Yeah.
That he, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Nothing of it.
As I say, we'll get onto that. So, so as it is right now, you're coming through and you're doing gigs, and you've got used to in the band, and you've got your younger drummer. What happened after that? Are you just what you're doing covers and?
Well, there was Ben though. Don't forget.
Ben, no, Big Ben, yeah. We were doing original stuff.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of years, there were about 8 years maybe, 05 to about 13.
Yeah.
Doing like originals, that kind of thing, and then for whatever reason, like we just drifted apart. Didn't we? I think Danny the boy obviously moved to Spain.
Right.
Ben had a family and stuff, a couple of kids, and then we just wanted to do something. So then I jumped on the piano then and just sort of like do something a little bit acousticy, so we could just carry on gigging and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'd never played the piano before, and then the next thing is like just, oh yeah, I can do this as well. Just comes out and shows us like he's mastered it.
Right.
And my mum and dad got me a piano.
So we did a lot of years like that. Then just obviously gigging pubs and stuff, just the two of us.
Yeah.
And then obviously you take over. Explaining where our Bevan came
So-
in, because it was your night, weren't it then?
At this point, are you just is it literally just the local boozers you're doing, like going to like I don't know, like booked for a club doing acoustic performances together?
Yeah, literally
And-
that.
yeah.
like
After the band,
Manchester.
we just started doing that. We just
Quite a few years.
The
then,
band
weren't
was
it,
called
as well?
The Odds, so
The
that's where the
Original
acoustic odds came
four-piece,
from.
Right.
and then we were
okay.
acoustic
Yeah.
odds. Yeah.
Right.
We
Well,
play,
have
like-
you got an origin story for the odds?
It come from my brother, didn't it?
Yeah, I think the five of us very originally, and we just all had like different tastes in music and things like that. Like we just sort of like all oddballs, weren't we?
Yeah, John mentioned it and said you should be
We were
called
like, yeah,
The Odds.
that'll do for now at least.
Yeah, it just
And then
stuck.
acoustic
Excellent.
odds came, and then we're stuck with that now, aren't we?
Yeah.
So when was the acoustic odds established? Like when did that become a thing? Was that when you started doing
Probably
the?
not long after we stopped the band, about
Yeah.
2013, 14.
Right.
And we did quite a few years of that, didn't we?
It was because we didn't want to change the name, really. We wanted them to still know it was us, but we
Yeah.
just got acoustic because he was playing piano and I was doing guitar.
Absolutely. So are you finding any sort of success at all at that point? Like what's the peak of your success? Like a certain big gig or a release or all like that?
At that point, the big things were playing like the O2 academies and
As the
supporting.
four-piece, not as the like duo.
Yeah.
or anything
It's
like
about
that.
the duo.
Oh, the duo. No, yeah, we was just doing like the botanists and the alchemists and
Yeah.
like posh bars, and we do
Just 'cause
pub,
we enjoyed
pubs
it, that
around
was
here.
it.
I'll be better answering that because I was on the outside, weren't I? So locally, they were really popular.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Like,
That's
really popular.
Yeah. Right.
But like locally, yeah. So
Yeah.
you sell all the bars out and the pubs out and like the
Yeah.
little clubs that you play in the town. Like they do that all the time. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Nowhere further afield at all.
But
Right.
yeah, you might have done a bit of travelling, but
Yeah, only a little bit.
How far were you going when you're saying you do a little bit of travelling? What was your?
We went
your
to
reach?
London once, just as a one-off, because we won a competition in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And
That was
apart
the
from that, it was
four-piece
like
again, yeah.
we might have went to Manchester or Liverpool. That was it.
Right. So I can sort of gauge where you are at this point. Are you entering competitions sort of to get yourselves a bit of exposure, or what's?
Yeah, we was on.
Well, not at that point, no, not as the duo and stuff like that.
Oh
yeah.
no, sorry, not as the duo. No, just
You're going
just
back
as the
way
band.
back.
Yeah.
band and stuff like that,
Yeah.
bands and things.
So moving on, sort of like 2014 onwards, what was the next like step? Have you stayed together throughout? Are you continually doing it throughout?
Oh, yeah, constantly.
Yeah. Right. Just because we literally enjoy it, we weren't looking for anything more at that point. We were happy just the two of us, just playing music, having a drink on.
Yeah, it
weekend
wasn't
and stuff.
about, it wasn't a
looking
end
for
goal.
anything.
We'd sort of like give up on that, if you know what I mean.
So you're just doing it as
was
the local
enjoyment.
actor, like
Yeah.
Or them two are the local lads who do the.
Yeah,
acoustic
and
stuff.
we genuinely love it, you know what I mean? That's what we enjoy to do. People like playing footy at the weekend, we like playing music.
So if you don't mind me asking, where were you at this point? What are you in another band
Yeah,
or?
I've been in hundreds of bands, mate.
Right.
He's a band whore.
I don't
He is, mate.
like saying before, like my like first fucking love's punk rock. So I was always in punk rock bands,
Yeah.
thrashing away. So that's where I'll have been at that point in my life. Yeah.
Right. No worries. And are you gigging locally as well? So you because
Yeah and no. I played for a band, but we done quite a lot of travelling. That was a busy band, that, because we used to do like 50 gigs a year,
right.
which was a lot really for fucking punk rock cover band. They were called Last Gang. Well, they are called Last Gang in times. They still go in respect if they ever watch it. Like the race, like that's all I was doing. And I used to do a bit of travelling with my bird. That was it.
Right. So, because I obviously I'm looking from like a DJ's perspective here. Everyone within the circuit sort of knows each other, even if it's a different genre. You'll cross paths and you'll see each other. So I use crossing paths.
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
we're all mates. Like we don't see him all the time, but we see him. Like always have a drink with him. And
Were you on like the same bills at any point where your band's on?
We was actually. I've got a picture of the three of us. Believe it or
Originally,
not.
though,
yeah,
Right,
you're
and
the
the
four piece again, though, aren't you?
Yeah, but
Oh yeah,
there's
growing
even
up in
further
that.
back than that.
Yeah, sorry, growing up in that.
It's
Yeah,
a small town. It's a really
we were
small
always on
town,
the same
weren't we?
bills together because I was in a band when they were the Odds. I was in a band called the Ladies.
Right.
And we're all like,
And
best
we're all
mates.
that's the group of mates that we all knock about.
You still got that photo?
Yeah.
Fire it over. I'll put it in the podcast.
I'll fire it to you. I've got it on my phone there, and I'll send it.
If I remember correctly, Bevan is skinning up on the photo, isn't he?
He might have been because he was a
I
nuisance.
think so.
don't think
Someone
I am,
is, on that photo.
I think it's him. I think it was a big fella.
It probably was.
Excellent
Maybe.
day. I love it. Right, we'll just pause that 2 seconds. That's okay. I always find that off so far.
Yeah,
right?
sounds
Very
yeah.
nice. Not because I said skinning up, is it? No.
No.
That's me, Keith. I
cut,
know where the edit is.
No, it's not.
No,
It's just
very
edit
nice,
here,
mate.
just for the simple reason is because I'm going to go into the next bit now, where because I've sort of got the basis of what you're about, and now I'm just going to go on to the next bit. I'm a bad technophobe. Like I like making sure everything's recording.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose
Listen,
any.
that's fine.
Any.
Because we can
We're
have a smoke
comfortable,
break
mate,
as
like,
well,
we can
can't
do
we?
whatever you
Not
want.
right now.
Oh yeah.
It's easier to edit like a 10-minute video than a fucking hour video as well when you're loading it on.
It's frustrating, man.
Yeah. Get it, man.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll just carry on. So at this point, yous are. You're like local heroes, you would say. Like no, that's what it is, isn't it? Like you're not on a national level, but yeah, it's right though. Isn't it? Where's the line?
I love it
I wouldn't
because
say local
Look at
heroes.
his face,
I really wouldn't. No, not at all. I don't know what to say. We were
going down the town
popular
with him. Or like
around here.
do you know like when we're on our way to gigging and stuff and like we get picked up in the van
Yeah.
and then we go like we always stop off at the garage. I hate going in the garage with him.
Is he recognised?
But it's the way people look at him, right? As in, give him that look, as in, oh yeah, it's him, but he loves it. That's why he hates it because he's like that.
Dear fuck.
Everyone secretly loves it. They do. I told the story on last week's episode. I'll just tell you briefly. But I was picking my missus up from work Thursday gone, and I was there and I was sitting in the car waiting for her, and I got a message request on Facebook Messenger, right? And it was, "Hi mate, are you here?" No. Yeah. So yeah, I can see you. I'm like, that's weird as fuck. Do you not think? Like, why don't you just come and say hello? Like, I'm just sitting there in the street and I'm looking around, and at this point I'm like, something not quite right here. Like, I can't see you. Mate. Oh yeah, it's all right. I just seen you briefly. I'm like, that is, and we're not friends or anything on Facebook. I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
He's coming as a message request. I'm just like,
Just come say
It's like
hi.
that,
that's
it's like that film in it, phone booth.
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Like
Yeah,
that.
I just seen a red dot there when I was sitting in the car. But yeah, so that's a good question. Do you get recognised a lot?
Yeah, these
Locally.
He does that. not so
You
much.
do, yeah.
Well, I do, yeah. I do
You've got a
get
very
recognised
recognisable
when I
face, man. Like,
see it.
if
Yeah, it's because I go, yes, the people.
yeah, essentially that's what it is, yeah. But when I seen the video on that, like, I'd maybe seen it the first time I'd seen you. I think if I walked past you in the street, I'd sort of cotton on it's used, because some
Yeah.
people have got like these faces where they're just very forgettable.
I think that must be what happens, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
It's always, are you the lad off
It's
the
a large
internet?
face.
It's a big face, yeah.
You're
You that
off the
singer?
internet, aren't
You're
you?
that lad, aren't
You're
you?
that lad off the video, aren't you?
You're that lad who
The
sang
Moon
that
song.
What's the band called? Oh yeah, the Acoustic odds, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're sort of moving forward. We said about sort of 2014 before. Going forward, at what point was there a change from being just doing the local?
2000 August, the 18th or something. Well, no, it was the 18th. It was the year 18, wasn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about now.
That's when it changed.
with
over.
our Bevel.
No,
No,
when
it's
it
the
all
YouTube
changed
viral
after that
video.
video.
Oh,
yeah,
that was it.
Yeah.
It all
Also, it
changed,
literally is that
It was
video
the-
that's
yeah,
the
we were
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that
yeah.
up until we were
Ah,
doing
right,
the duo.
we'll get
yeah.
into
So we
this
were
then.
just getting on
Still.
with life, just playing music in pubs and bars and
Loving it.
just like enjoying ourselves. It was like there was no goal to it because
Right.
we'd gone past that. We'd already thought we were going to achieve that by the time we were 25 or something, and you know
Yeah.
we're talking like we're 30 here now or something.
It's
And
like I
we
said
just-
to you, isn't it? It's one of them things when you start out as a musician, you're like, I'll be massive by I'm 25, and then
Yeah.
just
Few
you
years
find
of
your
grass.
You also don't realise how quick time goes as well.
exactly.
So you think you've got all the time in the world, and you're getting on with everything else that that comes along with it.
You see all these bands who are like they're selling out arenas and that, and they're all like 22, 23-year-old lads, and you're thinking, fuck me. Like if I went back to 23-year-old me, I couldn't handle something on
Oh,
that scale.
yeah,
Like
I
you,
know.
you see a lot of them just go like proper off the rails,
You would
but
do,
and you
wouldn't
understand
you? 'Cause
why,
you- yeah.
because like at 23 I thought I'm ready to go big. I could do big stages like this, and then
You've no idea. have you?
look back at 23-year-old me, you'd think you'd crumble, you fucking like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, so are you in the band at this point when this video? No, right, okay, right. Well, if you let me know when you join, right, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, man.
So right, tell me the story of
The stag do.
yeah,
Right, so our mate Jimmy was getting married. He'd met a girl in Australia, but she was from Essex, yeah. And well, anyway, he come back home and they were getting married, so we went on a stag do. And we went on the ale train, so we got picked up in the morning. At what time do you reckon? About 8 in the morning.
From
It was early,
Widnes,
wasn't
we
it?
had to get to Piccadilly. We were already
Yeah.
drunk by the time we got to Piccadilly there.
Yeah, we were
in the
smashed by
morning.
the time we got to Piccadilly Station, which is like a 25-minute drive from here.
right.
Right, but we got the train, didn't we? We got the train
we were
from
on the train
Widnes
all the way,
Station.
yeah, to
He can't even
Piccadilly.
remember.
We got the train from Widnes Station to Piccadilly, and on the train 20 minutes we're on the ale, and then it was like
was all the way to
an hour
Batley,
and a
yeah.
half or an hour or something up to what you go up to what's it
Batley.
called? Batley
Right.
near Leeds.
Yeah.
That was the
And
first
then-
stop, the first station.
Yeah, the
first
very
stop you
first
get off.
station.
Right.
So we got off, didn't we, off the train in the first pub, and immediately there was just a piano on the side there. And I
My
just
melody
said to
was
him,
like-
get on that piano, because we were smashed, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
"Hey, get on that piano," and he's like,
No.
yeah, a little
No,
bit,
no,
mate.
no,
Or he was like, no, whatever. And I'm like, come on, get on the piano, fucking hell. There was only us in the pub.
Right.
Only the stag do, really. There wasn't really any other punters. There was only a
Mike,
couple.
as I know he'd have been like that. No,
He was like, no.
You
can see him now.
This is the God's honest truth. So I said, get on that piano. And he went, all right. He said, gets on the piano, what should I play? And I went, Hole of the Moon. And he went, no, I'm not
fuck
playing that. And I went, play Hole of the Moon. And I swore down dead. Right? He said, no, I'm not playing it. I went, fucking play Hole of the Moon, Michael. Play it now. Anyway, he fucking plays it. And Jimmy obviously filmed it. And went round all the lads, blah, blah, blah. And he filmed Touch Me as well. We'd done a couple of songs.
Yeah.
And we forgot about that
Yeah,
then
carry on
completely.
with
That
the
was the
rest of the
first
day
pub, and
then.
we started drinking 8 in the morning. We got to that pub about 10
Yeah.
a.m. So we're smashed there on that video.
I'm not gonna lie, I watched that video, the original, and you look smashed.
Oh, I'm
in there.
smashed. We're absolutely smashed, honestly.
Yeah.
And then we didn't finish till about 8 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
because you go from that station to the next
Stop at
station,
each
and every
station,
single
obviously getting off
station
and
on the
all the
way back
pubs
to
on.
Manchester is a pub.
Oh, class. I've
The ale
never
train.
even heard of this.
The
thing.
ale
Yeah.
train.
the
It's
Ale
called
Tra-
the Ale
Ale
Trail.
Trail.
Ale Trail, yeah.
Aye.
And yeah, and that was that. But then the next morning, Jimmy, the lad who posted it, and he was also the stag and one of our best mates,
Yeah.
he phones me up and he goes, "Hey, Ad." I said, "What, mate?" He goes, "Listen, I'm on this group on it's like a an Everton fan group because he supports Everton.
Yeah.
And I posted this video of you and Mike yesterday at on Stag playing Hole of the Moon on the piano. He said it's had 25,000 views
Class.
overnight, and I was like, 25,000? No way, because we put videos out on YouTube and he'd had 10,000 over the course of a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nothing on this.
Nothing.
Scale.
And then so 25,000 I was like, oh wow, that's mad overnight. Anyway, finished the conversation, put the phone down. I'm ringing him. Michael, you never guess what that video Jimmy's put up, it's had 25,000 views. And he's like, what? You're joking, aren't you? No. About an hour later he rings me back, Jimmy, and he goes, hey Ad. I said, what? He went, it's had 500,000 views.
Fucking hell.
I went, what? It literally, in an hour, overnight it had just had that trickle.
Aye.
25,000, thought it was massive. Next thing, it was 500,000. And then throughout that day,
through the week, yeah,
throughout that day, he rang me every half an hour, and he was going. We were literally on the phone, no word of a lie. He'd go, "Hey, Ad, it's on 1 million." I'd be going, "A fucking million? You're having a laugh? Let me have a look." I'd refresh the page, and it'd be 1,000,000.1.
1.1. Yeah.
I'd be going, it's on 1,000,000.1. I swear to God, it was going up that fast. It was going up 5,000 views a minute.
It's like the most organic way to like a record label couldn't do that.
You can't replicate it. It's literally, and somebody put a stat on it, and I can't remember what the numbers were, but you'd have to pay so many to get 1 million views. It's something stupid, but I think it was like, I can't remember, like 70 grand if you wanted to just be able to give it some sort of boost that.
And just pure organic, isn't it?
Oh,
like everyone sharing it. Like I'm not joking. Everyone was sharing it in my area. It's like, I've seen this.
The phone just blew up. For the whole week, it was completely mental. In 4 days, it had gone to something like 7 million views in 4 days. So that was just a constant whirlwind. Then and it was for weeks. It wasn't for and it just carried on. But for the very first 2 weeks, probably was absolutely manic. It was just bing, 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 bing. You couldn't keep up with it. You couldn't keep up with anything. Comments and
one of them where I think even like my dad sent, like forwarded it to me and went, "Is that your mate?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every fucking.
So everyone was, and everyone was doing it to us, going,
yeah.
"Oh my God, the people we've not spoken to for ages. Is that you? Oh, I've just seen you." And me brothers just shared this. My mates just shared this.
Like randomers from school.
I know him, and it's mad. Then the radios were getting involved. Radio 1 got involved. And
Jesus.
The Water Boys congratulated us for it and all the rest of that.
I'm not surprised because that song went back in the charts.
It went back in the charts,
Yeah.
Went to number 14.
I rediscovered my love for that tune after I heard it.
Yeah. I also think a lot of younger people would never have heard that song.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they clicked on the video and like, oh, that song's good. And then found the original song, you know what I mean?
So, what was your first thoughts when this happened? Like, are you thinking, we need to record this properly, or what?
No, we didn't need
No, because I wasn't with him at that point.
Are you the brains?
I'm the fucking brains behind it.
Are you just like, we'll get down the pub, we'll sing on Friday night?
We needed to kick up the bum.
So not long after that, wasn't it?
It was probably a couple of years.
No, it'll have been was it
following year,
2019 it was, so the following year then, where Bev comes into the story.
You were on a night out, weren't you?
Yeah, we were on a night out, No, in fact, I remember I'd come to see you.
We had a gig.
Been gigging,
I sneak off home often.
Didn't I come to see you though in the pub?
That was the year before.
Right.
Yeah. So you had done a gig, and I think I might have done a gig as well somewhere on the same night, and we both.
I'm sure you were in the Griffin.
We both ended up in the Griffin. I called in the Griffin for a pint on my way home, and he'd done the same after his gig, and we got talking, and he kept telling me about. He said we were chatting about music and that, and he was saying, "Do you know what? We've done a little thing the other night. I recorded it on my phone, and me and Mike playing Born Slippy. Sounded dead good, And I was like, Born Slippy, Underworld Born Slippy. He's like, yeah. It's like, I'd like to hear that, like taking the piss, because I was thinking, how are you going to do that acoustically? So I'm like, I'd like to hear that, and he was going, you should have some drums on that, But we were just bladdered talking shit.
We come here, didn't we?
And literally, like, within about half an hour, we were fucking walking round here like that, and we get to here, And we were like kids, mate. We were up and down we were in that room there for a bit because the drum kit was up there. Then we were in there for a bit, and then we were literally up and down all night.
You said I'd not been here, had I? And you said, "Come to my studio now.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go." Because the pub was for closing. It was
5 minutes down the road.
It's just
Yeah,
walking
he still hadn't
a
been
few
here
minutes.
at that point.
Yeah, he said, "Come here."
So he puts this tune that he had, fucking plugs his phone into the PA system. We turned it up dead loud so Mike was here then, if you know what I mean. And he's playing along on the acoustic and I'm playing the thing, and he recorded that on his phone. And then, I'll be honest, I never really thought anything of it after that. Like, it was just a bit of a laugh at not seeing him for ages, like, so that was that. But he rang me or texted me not long, like a couple of weeks after that it was, weren't it?
You got him
And he said, are we
recording.
going to record that then or what, brother? And I was thinking, yeah, if you want. I was thinking, didn't think it was that good, but we came in here, didn't we? And be honest, the first one was shite. It was fucking rubbish. If we're being dead honest, remember?
Yeah.
We come in, we were buzzing, and yeah, like, you know what? Let's do this dance version of this song, and I'll do this on the drum. You know, he'll do this, and we killed it. We just done too much on it.
Right.
I think we even fucking put a Coldplay thing in it, didn't we?
Yeah,
Remember?
A little mashup.
Some mashup of a Coldplay thing.
yeah,
Anyway, it
fuck
was
that.
dreadful, and that was that. But to be fair, he must have had something in his head, Adam, because I didn't. And he came in again. Him and Mike, sorry, I've just burped, and it probably stinks because I've had a Nando's. But yeah, he came in with Mike, and I was in work, and I come. John O for me when I was in work, and he said, "Can you come here after work?" And he just put some drums down. What for? They're in here recording that song again today, and you want to change the drums on it. All right. Anyway, I come, and it was as it is now, and it was like, fucking hell, that's pretty good. That happy days. Anyway, and I put the drums on it, and then again, we didn't do it. COVID happened then, didn't
Yeah,
it? So
yeah.
we didn't do fuck all.
So you're just sitting on the back burner at this
So it was
point.
just sat there
We
again.
had that
wasn't
one
doing
song
it, yeah.
recorded.
But then, yeah, COVID hit, and obviously we were a working band.
Yeah.
So being able to work doing that, we decided that we'd be. Obviously, everyone locked their own, weren't they?
Yeah.
No, it was we
did a
found
stream
out with the
first.
studio because obviously there was like loads of rules and shit like that, weren't there, of what you could and couldn't do. And if you could go to work after that initial, you can't do fucking anything.
Yeah.
You can't wipe your ass. You could go to work again, couldn't you? This is a place of work. We work here. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, so these are a working band. So it was just It wasn't anything other than probably out of boredom, weren't it? Something for us to do and like sort of focus
thought
on because
we'd
everyone had
stream,
nothing to do.
Yeah.
Should we stream a
Stream.
gig?
I enjoyed them straight.
Well, everyone at that
we
time,
loved them as
the only
well.
thing that gave me the idea was people were watching, or I was watching on you scrolling on Instagram or
Sat at home,
Facebook or
stuck
whatever.
at home and
People
that.
are playing guitars in the bedrooms room, and don't get me wrong, it was class, you know. But
But
you
thought
watch
you
15
could
seconds
step
and
up
it
from
sounds
that.
shit, doesn't it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Quality,
it's the audio quality sounds wank, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
it was like, we could do that from the studio, but actually stream it, studio quality audio to the fucking whatever,
Live.
and do it live. Let's do that. And Sports and these were up for it, and we didn't really think anything of it, did we, at the beginning? But it went off.
Oh yeah.
It was
went
like
mad.
at one point it was like was it 3,000 or 4,000
Watching like live.
So, yeah, it was,
live view? It was
Yeah.
mental. Like
You know,
any
we
one
turned
time,
it,
at
the
that
very
one
first time.
moment.
No, remember the first time we done it? We're all like this, just about to do it, and it, obviously brand new to us. We were going live, and
We were all
thinking,
sat in here, yeah,
what the
weren't we?
fuck, man? It was like, right, we're going on in 5 minutes, and we were just in here doing it. Are you ready? I didn't know what to expect. And we're like, how many people do you think are going to be watching? And we were like, don't know, about 50.
Yeah.
If there's 50 people watching, I'll be happy. And we were like, yeah, if there's 50 people. And we fucking turned it on. And there's like a 10-minute timer. And when we turned it on, there was 600 people waiting
Class.
straight away.
No, it weren't that, was it?
It was?
No. It was when I went in there and done a line check.
Oh,
There
that's
was
right,
no
yeah.
one watching it. Go, oh, we didn't. Well, we weren't onto it. We all had a little bet, didn't we, on how many
How
we
many?
thought. And I was the
Ah,
one
right,
who
I
was
see,
going
yeah.
extravagant, going, I reckon about 250, and he's like,
Yeah.
fucking no chance. I was like, you never know.
Whatever.
Anyway, John, our
Producer.
producer, like, he goes to us, can you go in there and just give us a test on all the things and make sure they're coming through? And there's a delay on it, like a 30-second delay, so I'm just talking like a divvy for ages like that, and then he'd go, right, that's coming through now after 30 seconds of me talking bollocks, and then like that on his piano, like I just can't play to fuck, and I'm letting his guitar anyway. when it come back in, that was when it was like 700 people watching just fucking talking
Watching
shit
nothing.
in there.
And we were like, whoa, they were like
700?
700 people watching now. And we hadn't even started. We were like, 700 people? And it literally went 1.6, 1.7, 2,000. We were like, and it just got bigger. And the lads are going like that. You've got like 100,000. They're not watching, but you've just hit 100,000 followers on, like live now. And we were like, no way.
I always say this. Sometimes it's as bad as it is. Like lockdown was a blessing in disguise for a lot of musicians because, like, you wouldn't have done that.
We wouldn't have done the live.
You wouldn't have done it. Like,
We couldn't gig.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We couldn't gig at the time.
that's the thing. though. Like that has set you up with like a core following for when everything opened back up.
Yeah.
Like you said, you hit 100,000. That's 100,000 followers who you can then go on tour with. And,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they'll you know that given the right promo, they're going to see that
Yeah,
you're
of
coming
course,
to.
yeah.
It's like phenomenal.
The amount of them that mention that though and say you got us through lockdown,
Class,
or
yeah.
that we've honestly you literally helped us out in lockdown or whatever
Yeah.
with them live streams and it's I mean loads and loads and loads of people.
But even still at that point, I wasn't in the band.
Well, you know.
No, that was just a
live stream again, weren't it?
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
still lockdown
In
then.
fact,
we did
no, sorry, that first live stream we played
Touch
dance tune.
No.
It was Deep in the Buzz.
Faithless.
Faithless.
Ah, faithless.
So
Yeah.
we played Insomnia, and when I think he sound checked with that, and John O went, "Hey, go on the kick drum, I'll make the kick drum up and put that on. It'll sound good. That at the end, just give it a kick drum like that." So I didn't even come on the camera. You know what I mean? I just snuck in like that, fucking hit the kick drum, and then
Class.
he said to me, "Then, hey, it sounded dead good with the kick drum. We should have the drums in it for the next one." And I'm like, and I hadn't played drums. I hadn't even picked a set of drumsticks up for about 5 years at this point.
Right.
So I'm going, what do you want me to do? We'll just do this for now. Boom, 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 boom. So I played on a couple of streams then, just going boom, boom, not doing anything, just doing what he was telling me to do.
Yeah.
Just not playing the drums, basically.
Class.
Yeah.
So, do you know? So I don't want to sort of go over the story a bit too much, but see, before lockdown, we used touring at this point.
No.
Just no.
Log.
So
No,
when
we
did
was doing
when did you first do your first sort of like tour around? Because
With the 3-piece as well, like the full drum.
Then, when we finished lockdown and we could all go back to normal,
was
that's
there a
when we
demand
were
for
going
you
out
at
as
this
the
point?
band then. Yeah, there
It
was
wasn't
definitely
just
a
that though.
demand.
In lockdown, we did the album. We did the dance album then
Yeah.
during lockdown because
yeah.
we could.
Yeah.
So while we were doing them streams, we were in the lockdown as well and recording the album.
Right.
So and then we kept teasing it was going to come out, and I think that was probably a thing.
This is where I picked up on you, by the way. This is
Yeah.
I can remember you like it's coming, and I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder what they're gonna
And
what.
it was, obviously not all of us. We didn't have a fucking clue what we were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, we did as in musician wise.
Yeah,
we're
music-wise,
musicians.
we-
It wasn't
no,
that.
there's
It was
no
just
plan.
like
It's just
it
the
wasn't a
business
plan.
end of
It's as if
music.
we just
None of
fell
us have
into
ever done it
doing
like
it.
that, so we didn't know, did we?
Just fell into it. Didn't we?
So we
Yeah.
were taking advice at the time off a kid who was a music manager, but to be fair, he was like a social media kid where he knew how to market things right. So
Yeah.
he was going, no, you can't do that. You've got to do, like, if you're going to put an album out, you can't just put an album out. You've got to build it up, and you've got to do this, and you've got to put a single out, and then and all this. And we were like, all right, didn't fucking know any of that. So
Yeah.
we just done what this kid told us to do, and then then we put the album out then,
Yeah.
and that was it April 2020, was it? April 2021,
maybe?
sorry.
21, yeah.
Yeah, April 21.
And
we
that
put
went
it
to
out,
#1 in the download charts on iTunes for the dance albums. It was
Class.
which was
So
mental.
did you just know that there was an anticipation for this coming? Like, could you feel a little rumble?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we were building the. It was
Yeah.
like, to be honest, it was give everyone because we like he was saying, they get messages all the time because that video and all these other things, and these per in lockdown and stuff like that, doing the viral stuff, doing the streams and that.
Yeah.
Got everyone, give everyone something to look forward to, and it's sort of. These people were on a bit of a journey with these, as well as in like they were the two kids from the pub.
Yeah.
Who've now the two lads from the pub. We fucking weren't kids then, were we? And then they've like progressed into like where they're up to now, and then like they're following them online, then what they're doing and stuff like that. And I think
It's that
I don't
journey,
know,
isn't
they're
it?
just like. I'm speaking like about them, if you know what I mean. But they're like relatable lads. Everyone's got a mate like them too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it's like my mate could do that if he could play the guitar. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
they
we
just
can't play
like
the
my
guitar.
mates, like
Yeah,
the boys next door, though, you know.
I know what you mean, exactly. I've got a question about the album, seeing as though we're on to it then. How did you narrow down what you were going to cover?
Well, it was tough nailing them down, but all of them songs are pretty much the dance songs that are our favourite dance
Like
songs.
growing
from
up,
growing
wasn't
up,
it? Like,
Right.
you know, literally. And I think that's what everyone caught on to as well, is the fact that
the
they're all
nostalgia with it all,
nostalgic
isn't it? Yeah.
dance tunes.
So is there one in particular that one of you have picked and then you pitched it to yours, for instance?
We tried a lot, didn't we? Before
Yeah.
we settled on the few, we did try a few
We-
others that we didn't.
We stumbled across it on Born Slippy, I think, didn't we?
Yeah,
that
that
the
was
first
the first
one?
one, obviously, that you two
Oh,
did.
we
and
done
then
it years ago, in fact. Me and him tried years ago with another one of our mates, and it just didn't come off in the end. But years
we
and
thought
years
that
ago,
dance thing.
we thought we'll do dance stuff acoustic, and it never went to anything. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then we fell into it by doing Born Slippy, and it was like, fucking hell, it's good that, you know. It
We
fucking
wanted to
sounds
keep
dead
them
good,
dancey, didn't we? Obviously,
but different. To
Yeah.
Sometimes it's experience, so isn't it? So like you've done enough pub gigs to realise that
What
I can
goes down
transform
well.
this
That into something else.
I know for a fact that this works on the floor, so therefore they can incorporate this into an acoustic act. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, when I first heard it, I said to you off pod. I looked at the titles first to see what you had done. 'Cause obviously, I'd seen a teaser and I was like, right, so I know Born Slippy's on there.
Yeah.
Because you teased that initially, and I looked, and like I said when you done Silence, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
This-
How
I
is
thought-
that gonna be?
I thought to myself, is this going to kill them? And then, so I held off because I think it's about the fourth tune in, if I'm not mistaken. I can't
that's
remember
the last
order.
one.
That's the last
Oh, last
one.
one,
last
is
one.
it?
Yeah.
All right, and I was listening through, and let's do it in order, and then I like proper thoroughly enjoyed it, and then this come on, and I was like, oh, this is a lot better than I was expecting, because it's one of them tunes, because it's recorded in such a way, like the vocal is even different to any dance tune.
unbelievable, isn't it? It's one of the. It's got to be up there, one of the top vocals on a dance tune, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Silence.
absolutely. She's just a session vocalist as well. She's
Yeah.
not. She done.
Yeah.
Do you know Toy Story 2?
Yeah.
She done the Joan. The dead emotion bit where Jessie's like getting left at the tree.
Yeah.
She's that vocalist.
Sarah McLachlan, yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's just a session vocalist that they've paid for, and
to come in and sing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
like that.
And then it's that iconic. That is iconic. That
vocal.
That vocal.
I'd
is
never
unbelievable.
heard it until we done it.
I don't
Really?
think I had, you know.
it's like, for me, it's one of them tunes that like it shouldn't even be a dance tune, because like this is what I'm saying, the vocals that out there. I was thinking if someone covers that, because it's like one of them that I think shouldn't be touched. I don't think people should remix it, because it's such a distinctive vocal.
Yeah.
And I heard it and I was like, oh, I like how you've changed it up, and it just made sense. And I'm only selling this one tune, but the whole thing's actually really good. But like,
If you haven't heard it, go and listen.
yeah,
to
and
it
it's
on
not even
Spotify.
it's not even close to my favourite tune on the album. So it says a lot. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And yeah, so like I was like, I'm banging to this, because obviously I know all the tunes and everything.
Yeah, well, that's it. Everyone knows the tunes.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll keep an eye on these, because like when I initially first seen yous with the viral video, and then it's one of them things I seen you and I forgot about it, and then I never really showed interest, and then when I seen the video came like up again, do you know, like when Facebook Memories comes up,
Yeah.
and it come and I wonder what them lot are doing, and then I had a look on, I think it was on Instagram, and it was like, oh no, it was Facebook, sorry, and I looked on Facebook and yous were starting to promote this album. That's where it all sort of fell into place. I mean, since then I've sort of followed you of what you've been up to.
Nice.
And I'm always intrigued to see where he's going next and stuff like that. Obviously, you showed me some of the
So
stuff
are
you
we.
did. But like, yeah. But yeah, so where did your first sort of tour come into it then? Because you did like a little mini tour. I remember, because when I discovered you, I thought, oh, I'll go and see them. And then I looked, and then I think it was the week that I think you'd just been in Whitehaven. I'm like, I haven't even seen it advertised.
Yeah.
Like,
I know you can miss them that quick, to be
Yeah.
honest. The first talk, well, after lockdown, obviously everybody was gunning to get out, weren't they? And experience being normal again. And definitely live music is one of them things where you want to go out and do that. And I think it gives it an extra boost for people to go out and do it anyway.
yeah.
And we just put it together ourselves. We don't have management or anything like that.
Right.
We literally don't do everything in house. So people ask us to
Shout
do
out.
gigs and stuff.
Yeah, shout out to Stockholm and Peter and Jake.
Jake, yeah.
That's our crew that we've got.
Right.
We've done it all and Jono as well.
Yeah.
We've done it all ourselves at the early days, and Andy as well. Don't forget the cameraman.
Yeah, but it's all in house, and we just decided, right, people that ask us to gig, you know what I mean, we don't go hunting for gigs, so they were just coming in, and then we just made a bit of a tour out of it.
Right.
And,
I've got a question. Why Whitehaven? Because I was looking at the things, and it's like, I'm sure you had Sunderland, and you had like obvious places that I'd expect, and then I was like, why?
Well,
One of his. It's one of yours, that one.
Had we already played as a duo?
I think
Is that
so.
what it was?
Before the Whole of the Moon, maybe.
We know
Or
it
was
was
it
after that.
we
After the
played
Whole
as
of
a
the
duo
Moon went
before
viral,
lockdown hit.
we got quite a lot due, just me and Mike, before we got going with Bev. And it was just one of them. But we've been doing that for years anyway.
Yeah.
We would play anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere that'll have us.
So who did you play for initially in Whitehaven, if you don't mind me asking?
Dean, one
Dean
of our mates,
Fearon.
Dean Fernan, yeah.
Right.
And we
I can't remember. Was it like a football pitch or something like
Yeah,
that?
it was actually Grim's, not Grim's, what's it called?
Whitehaven ground.
Whitehaven's ground.
Recreational ground, yeah. Right, oh, that's interesting. So then, how did the tour go for you when you first done it then?
It was brilliant. It's madness, wasn't it?
I can remember seeing a couple of videos and that online that you had done, and I can't remember what it was that stuck out in my mind where you did, and I was just like, wow, that atmosphere looks decent there. Like, and it was what I noticed that's a bit different to other bands that I go and watch is I was looking in the crowd and I was like, there's a lot of people who would attend the raves I play out there. And there's a lot of people who would go to bands and stuff like it's like it literally like such a mix of people.
It's mad, yeah. I've never been in a band like this before. Like,
it's very different, and you've got your niche, and it's
it's brilliant, mate. We get to live our dream doing this. Seriously, it's amazing. You know. Yeah. It's what we've always wanted to do. It's brilliant. People come out and watch.
Right. So moving forward, is there anything, any stories are from on the road or out like that when you have been sort of doing this little tour that you can share? You've laughed, so you know, so you've thought so much straight away.
Stories on the road. Oh God.
To be honest, we're dead fucking bored.
We're old now, you know.
Yeah.
We are like on the backside of 30.
Once the gig's over and all that, it's like we'll always we'll have a joint and we'll fucking get the guitar out and we'll sing all the way on till we can't sing anymore.
Back in the
So what I
van.
mean, that's what we normally do.
Yeah.
Or if we're staying out,
I'm equally as boring, by the way. I plan meticulously plan. So if I've got a gig, a lot of the DJ and stuff happens like late into the night. So like for instance, last weekend I played 5 till 6 in the morning in Blackpool, and I went to bed and then I got up as if I was going to work and I drove down and whatnot, and then went and played there. I can't do a full night now.
It's hard work, and especially when we've got a couple on a roll, like 3 on a bounce is difficult.
Yeah.
Because then we work as well. We're all
Yeah.
working
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Monday.
that's the thing,
we still work.
Use your day job to recover.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
bit of a come down when we're going back to our day jobs on a Monday morning. We've been
Reality hits you.
somewhere, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But we'll go out wherever we are. If we're playing Sunderland or Portsmouth or whatever, you know, we'll go out. With whoever has come to the gig, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And we also go out in the front of the crowd all the time to meet everyone at the gig.
That's good. I like that.
And,
Because you go into these places where you are building like a solid fan base, and interacting like that it's without you're doing the marketing without even realising it. You're just enjoying yourself. Like having a pint with these people, you're probably not going to remember, as sad as it is, because you obviously meeting these people. They're going to remember having that pint with you for forever. So it's like one of them things, in it. It's like
we remember most of them. To be fair, I know there's loads of them, but we do. We see a lot of the same faces, don't we, as well?
yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
do you notice that you've got like a core following? Like when you think we've got a following, and is the people
certain
faces
group.
popping
Yeah,
up?
definitely, definitely.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. So,
In fact, we can't not mention him. We've
we've
got a
got-
super fan.
Oh, he's
Alright.
a legend,
He's
man.
he
He's
is,
class.
He's a
We
top
love him.
bloke, and he comes.
Triggsy, big shout out,
Yeah.
Triggsy, come
Paul
on. But there's a
Triggs.
couple of them, but Triggsy literally
And
has
his
been
daughter
more than
Lydia as
Lydia.
well, and they come everywhere watching us, man. And they live in Portsmouth,
right.
So
and
they'll
fucking
travel
travel
anywhere.
up north and watch us and that. But like,
That's
he
super
is,
fun,
he's a
that.
top,
Yeah.
he's a dead nice bloke. Though, as
We've
well.
had
He's a nice
some
fella.
good nights with him, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
the good people, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Trixie, mate.
Big shout out to Triggsy and Lids.
Right, so Triggsy, has he explained to you how he got onto you at all?
Yeah,
Hey.
it was the streams in lockdown.
Yeah, it was
Was
streams in
Is that what
lockdown.
it was?
He was just at home and like most people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, as 2022 came in and stuff like that, what was next for you? Like you've put the album out, you've done that little tour. What was your moments from 2022, for you, so to say?
It's always just gigging, isn't it, mate? They're the moments we genuinely probably enjoy the most. We love being in the studio, making music and all that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We love practicing and just getting in here on a Friday or a weeknight, you know, doing what we do together.
Yeah.
But the actual main joy is definitely going out gigging, and especially we get to do it with our best mates. You know what I mean?
Have you had any gigs where you're like, upon reflection, you're like, fucking hell, I would have never thought we'd done this. Do you know?
Loads of them for me. Yeah,
Yeah, tons.
Is there anything that
tons.
sticks out in your mind in particular?
I can't. We done one last year, and it's only a local gig.
Right.
What's the fucking name of the thing called? Did you not bring a beer down? Did you neither?
Sorry, mate.
It's shocking.
Did you go upstairs as well?
Piss.
Oh.
You didn't bring a beer for Bevo?
Um,
Oh, never mind, mate. I'm awfully jealous.
it's called Glaston Ferry. Right.
Right, I've heard of it. Yeah.
And, what's it? Something like 2,500, 3,000.
Oh yeah.
It's always a good
And it was
turnout.
sold out.
It's local, obviously, to us.
And it was because of the way it was set up. Like I've never played in front of like a crowd like that. Where
Like
it was
festival type.
because when you sit down on the drums, it was the first time I couldn't see the back of the crowd. That was
Right.
that.
Yeah.
That's class. I
Yeah,
like
man.
that.
And
It's got
Diva
that.
Fest was one of them as well. We played in
Diva
a
Fest,
big,
that was class as well.
a
Yeah.
big tent like you'd get anywhere.
First
You know what I
time
mean? A
we went
massive
to
tent,
Sunderland.
big stage. Yeah, the
In
Sunderland
that big
gig.
tent, that was fucking
Amazing.
amazing as well, weren't it?
We've had that many amazing moments, seriously. We like literally coming on 40 and we just living our 25-year-old dream or whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We get to do what we love doing.
Do you? I know this is dead like cheesy and philosophical, but like, do you ever like when you're playing, you just look and think, fucking hell, like
Yeah.
Yeah, look
we've
at the
wanted
lads
to do this for
just
so
like-
all
long.
the time,
We've
mate.
wanted to do
Yeah,
this
of course.
Yeah, man.
all our lives, and it's like it's happening. Like
Yeah.
you're in the moment.
All the
sort of thing.
time.
Yeah.
Looking out at them crowds, mate, when they're just singing them songs. They're
That's
not
the
our
best
songs,
time,
but they're our
yeah.
versions of that
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're singing it back to us.
It's a nice
It's
feeling.
amazing, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, and just even the fact that all these people
Come out.
come out
Yeah.
of their own comfort zone, whatever they're doing, their own house, and buy
Travel a
tickets,
lot of them as
travel
well,
a lot of
travel
the time
'cause
to come and watch us
Yeah.
at these gigs. You know what I mean? It's massive. That in itself is just
Flattering.
like, wow, yeah, it's flattering, yeah.
Excellent. I like that. So I just want to ask you now, sort of here and now and going forward, what's your plans? Obviously, is there things you can't talk about? We don't want to talk about them, but what can you give the listeners now? What's coming up next for you?
Big plans, haven't we?
Mathis.
Original music.
Original music.
Right.
We've already started doing it.
Yeah.
We're hoping by the end of the year.
Open by
Obviously,
September,
yeah.
hopefully. September we hope to release original music, and hopefully everyone gets behind it.
Yeah.
And we can do the same thing that we done with the album on the dance tracks, with our tracks.
Yeah.
And you lot can all help us out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Honestly,
And
mate.
then we get to live the dream even more and even longer.
Yeah. Excellent. So, are you going to be touring this? Is it an EP or an album? Did you say?
It's an EP.
Yeah,
right.
we're going to start playing the originals pretty much off the bat
Soon.
now. I reckon we've got one gig at the end of this month. We've hardly done any gigs this year purposely because we literally
We've got so much on writing, yeah.
because we've not done it for a while, so it takes us 6 songs with shite before we get a good one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know the
So,
feeling.
yeah, we've been busy because we've got about
And they're desperate to show everyone,
We've
but
probably
you
got
can't
about-
do it.
Yeah.
14 decent ones now, so that's not bad. That
No,
Yeah.
it's not bad at all.
so we have
Yeah.
been
We'll
busy.
be looking at next year then, like proper gigging them maybe, wouldn't we?
No.
We've got some good
At
ones
the
this
end of
year,
the
though.
year, you'll see.
We've got plenty of
This is
gigs
the
left
thing.
this year, though.
we have.
So
I'll listen to the brains, you know.
I have
sorry.
to.
Listen, he likes to think he's the brains, mate, but you just let him think he's the
Yeah,
brains,
right,
that's
okay.
it.
They just let me run the band.
Just
and
let him
that's where
steer
I
it a little
started.
bit until he fucks up, and then we go, hang on, we were just letting you do the donkey work.
Not fucked up yet though. That's not happened yet.
Hopefully you won't.
What's it called? The aim is we're gonna get. We want to start putting original music out by about September.
Right.
And we're gonna start playing it like soon because, like, we're not getting any older. There's no point in hanging on.
Getting
He's
any
younger.
younger.
Not
Definitely getting
sorry.
older, mate.
Sorry.
That's the dementia kicking in.
What did you say?
Hey up, yeah. Yeah, so I think we've got to start doing it sooner rather than later. But I'm a hard taskmaster. I always give him unrealistic targets because if I need 10, I tell him we need 14 because then we definitely get 10 then. Do you know what I mean? That's how I work with him.
I like that. I like
got
that a lot. I like there's a balance and you've got to have the good work ethic of like, right, need to reach this by this and this by this. And at the same time, you're just like, you need to enjoy it at the same time as well, don't you? Have
Yeah,
fun and
therefore
you need to-
that's the biggest part of it. You know what, there's kids who are in here rehearsing,
Yeah.
and I'm going for get a beer in a minute, so I'll shut up. I saying to him, watched an interview with a band Elbow years ago, like proper years ago, and he said, have you got any advice for any young aspiring bands out there? And he went, yeah, be in a band with your mates because it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
And it fucking is.
Yeah, no,
Isn't it?
Yeah.
We just have it, you know what I mean?
Turn up to rehearse or write or whatever like that. It's not obviously not like going to work, is it?
No.
You just come in.
Yeah, I want to ask you a little something as well, like a sort of behind the curtain thing that I think people would genuinely interested in, and that is, do you feel like that, like when you're writing, do you write as a three, or like do you pitch ideas to each other, or I've done this at home, what do you think, or how do you write?
We do it in all different ways. We could just come in, Mike could come in with something and go, I've got this tune, I've got this part, what do you think of this? He'll show it us. And that could just spark something in one of us to start. Right, we literally just do it all together, to
Right,
be honest, because all of us are multi-skilled anyway.
Yeah.
Mike can play everything, Bev can play everything, I can play bits of everything. I'm not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I can hold a beat on a drum, on
Right.
the drums and stuff. But so yeah, it's just. But I could come in with some lyrics, or he could just come in and go, listen, I've got this song here, and from that we'll just work it out.
Do you actively sit down and like have jam sessions in which is a writing? So for instance, like, so as you say, you might come and say, oh, I've got this new bit, I want to test this out.
Yeah.
And then do you all just sort of riff off that then?
Yeah.
And go for it. Right.
We all sort of have to like it as well, though. So you know what I mean.
Well, we keep it quite bare, like when we're writing the originals. Obviously no drums and stuff like that, so Bev might be sat there on the bass just strumming a few things, like you said, we might be passing the guitar around.
I might not even get the guitar out, it might be him on a piano or guitar, I'll just be writing or whatever.
It takes a while before we
all
sit
different,
down
aren't they,
drums
but-
because it makes a racket in the room, doesn't it?
yeah, trying to
Yeah,
concentrate on his
yeah.
thing
So
anyway.
yeah.
But yeah, so I've just got like, I know it sounds stupid, but because I work with another person when we're writing tracks. Do you have not disagreements, but like I think it should go like this, and then you go like
all
this.
the time.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Who wins?
Whoever's right.
Yeah, it is.
Whoever's right, because
Tends to
there's
be.
three of us.
Yeah, it's upon reflection.
one of
He's
them,
like, oh
won't
well,
it?
actually
Yeah.
you're right, or actually you're right.
But we also open to trying every suggestion.
Yeah, of course.
So if he says, I think you should sing
We'll
it
try
like
it
that.
still,
Just
and then
at the
we'll-
end of that, you should just give it a little bit more of a fluctuation on the end or whatever. I'll go, all right, Sandy, I know what it is. Let's do it again then. We do it again. I'll try what he'll even be doing the melody what he wants me to do. He'll just go, instead of going like he'll go or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And I'll
I
just
like
try that.
We're close enough that we don't get butthurt.
No,
like,
No,
not
you don't
offended
we don't
at
get
all.
we
offended.
say we don't
So-
like, so we don't get offended by it. It's not personal. We just
And he will say,
prime
like,
to
don't
each other's
like it.
personalities as well, where it's like he might say something, but he doesn't mean it in a sort of bad way. It's more like this could be better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
And we're open to that, every single one of us. And because there's three of us, it's easy to.
Yeah.
Always one gets voted out. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
It's
exactly.
as simple as that. Two say yeah, one says no, and that's the way. That's the way it goes.
Exactly.
But at the same time, if one of us went, no, I really want it like
really-
this.
yeah, you can play the
then you
really
go,
don't
all
want
right,
it
Sam, if
card."
you really want it like that, let's have it like that. Doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, I understand that. I like that. I like that you've got like a 3 voting system as well. I just want to ask you as well, before I go into the question section, what have you got coming up that you can plug? So this will be out a week on Monday. So have you got any gigs that...
We're playing at Wrexham, aren't we, at the end of the month?
Yeah.
I sort all the gigs out. These haven't got a fucking clue.
Right.
He's took over a little bit. We'll give him a little bit of space.
Yeah, we're playing at Wrexham at the end of this month, which is the Kings of Leon are playing in. Is it
At the stadium, or
Yeah, you know all the
Stadium.
stuff that's been going on with Wrexham.
Yeah, so with all the mad stuff we've got with Wrexham and the Hollywood stars
That's
buying the
insane.
clothes,
I know.
class in it. It's
Yeah.
dead good, that.
Well, they've done really cheap tickets. There's like £3 a ticket.
So
for that,
yeah,
so
it's
just
like
to
the
fill. It's a great
unofficial after
venue.
party that we're playing in.
Oh,
But it's a
that'd be
boss
cool.
venue called the
Yeah, it's a
Rocking
really,
Chair.
really good venue. The Rocking Chair show out.
Yeah.
Top music venue.
Sound
It's the
system.
27th on the 28th.
27th of May.
27th.
Kings of Leon are playing
25th.
both nights. I think it's the final game on the Saturday for Wrexham of the
Right.
of the season. And
So it'll
obviously
be a
they've
big
been
night
promoted.
in Wrexham, so we're hoping it'll sell. It's a big venue. The guys obviously just wanting to get the gaff filled. I think he's putting the tickets on for fucking £3.
£3.
Right.
£3 quid.
I know for a fact there's lads from Wrexham Manchester who listen to the podcast. So if yous like what yous have heard when I've said to go and check it out, go and check it out because
Yeah, man,
like,
come and check it out.
Yeah.
You will not be disappointed.
yeah, absolutely
I
not.
promise you a good night.
Excellent. Do you mind if I just do some of the questions now? Is that all right?
Yes, mate.
So don't worry. There's nothing that's going to knock you out your comfort zone or out like that. It's just it's simply just questions that people have wrote in. It's not directly at you because I don't pre-announce the guests. These are just off the Instagram page. So this is the questions section with Acoustic Odds. Simply, lad, who are your idols in music and why? And that's from Danny Skur.
Nice.
Who are your idols in music?
John Lydon. Johnny Rotten.
That's who Bev loves.
Yeah, that's mad.
He's your
Absolutely
hero.
loves you.
What do you love about him? Is it the character or is it the musician?
Yeah, he fucking pulled off Ginger Ale and made it cool, didn't he?
I can see why you like him.
No, mate, he just fucking, the attitude and that. Like, I thought that's who I thought I was for ages. Like this little snarly fucking knobhead like that, but couldn't quite pull it off.
Class. So who's your idol? If you had to just pick one.
Oh, I don't know really, to be honest.
You've got a very distinctive voice as well. Like, it doesn't sound like you're trying to copy off somebody.
Yeah.
It's because if you listen to some of your music, you're like, right, okay, and then all of a sudden you'll go into like a higher tone.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, right, okay, this doesn't sound like something I've heard before. So I can't gather where your inspiration comes from.
No,
I've tried to think about
I tell you what, Freddie Mercury for me, vocally.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Freddie Mercury, unbelievable vocalist. Yeah, it'd be Freddie. Yeah.
Go on.
If you was on about a vocalist, it would be Freddie.
Who's your idol and inspiration?
Dave Grohl, I'd say. Yeah.
You've got to look at him.
Straight
You
in
know.
the
Are you
know.
straight-
I've got the short hair
legend,
now.
didn't he?
Yeah.
He's just a nice guy.
I've just finished his book.
Being,
It's really good, really interesting.
Apparently, he's
Yeah.
the nicest man in
Yeah.
rock and roll, isn't he?
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Interesting. I like that. Right. This one is: how many cream eggs do you think you can eat in 5 minutes? And that's from Annalise Johnson. Shout Annalise.
I'm not going higher than 2.
I'm going to tell you that I am a massive foodie, huge, and can eat a lot of stuff and love food, but I'm not keen on cream eggs.
No.
Not really. No.
sugar.
But
Sugar.
how many could I eat in one sitting? I probably
5 minutes.
In 5
not
minutes.
just one
5 minutes.
sitting, in 5 minutes.
If I put a timer on right now,
Oh,
how many do you
I
reckon?
reckon 8.
8? Fuck off. No chance.
I'd go as far to say, get me 8 now, and I'll try
Three
it.
maximum.
3.
Yeah.
I've worked this out right.
Go on.
I reckon. I'm a big eater, man.
Yeah.
I reckon I could do 10 every 30 seconds. Have one. I could eat one in 20 seconds.
Do you reckon?
Have a drink. Next one. Do it. I'd
Yeah,
feel ill afterwards.
Yeah,
don't get me
if
wrong.
If we
Yeah,
ever
I
do
can't
another
that.
one of these, I'm going to bring fucking
Hey,
a box of 12.
we'll do another
so
one.
I can do 8 and you can
see
do
how-
10.
how you two get on.
Listen, when you blow up off this album, right, and then I come to your lovely £1 million studio, right, I will bring the cream eggs and I'll do
Right.
it. Is that deal?
Deal,
you've
and
heard
I'll
about
do it
that.
with you.
We'll all have
Yeah, we'll see
diabetes
how many-
after
Yeah,
it.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Eat 10 cream eggs. Not a problem.
Right, we want to see it next time.
I might throw. Is a white one all right? Have you seen the white ones?
Yeah, but
The
don't you
do
win
one.
10
I've not
grand
had
if you
a
get a
white
white one? You did?
No, they've done like a limited run of like white ones and
Right. I've seen a thing that says don't eat it if you find it.
Have you had the caramel ones?
Is it
the
gold?
caramel ones aren't that nice.
I like them, you know me, because I like the Cadbury's caramel. It's just like a big
Yeah.
fuck off one of them, innit?
Yeah.
Loads of caramel in it.
I
as I
don't like
say-
them either.
So how many do you reckon you could do?
I no more than 2.
No
I
more
don't
than
think
2.
5 minutes. I think
3
that's
tops,
sick,
I reckon.
and that sugar
Yeah.
hitting you.
It's
Oh,
the
you'd be
gluten and-
absolutely.
Obviously,
You'd
as
be
you can see, I'm not
sickly
the
as
biggest
fuck.
guy in
Oh,
the
it'll be
world.
sickly, yeah, but we'll see next time, man.
Right. Hi, mate. Question for future guests. What would be your ultimate lineup on a multi-genre gig, and who would you like to play alongside? And that's from Barry Rigg. I'll sort of make the question a little bit easier. If you were going to do 4 acts on, and you get to pick when and where it's at, and you're booking, you obviously got yourselves on 3 other acts. Who you having to work around?
Right.
Can I go in with Bee Gees?
Ooh.
Straight in.
Go on.
Just a
Love
bit of
that.
danciness. And it's
Are they going on before or after you?
Wow.
They've got to go on before.
Yeah.
They've got to. Do you know why they've got to go on before?
When we're gigging,
Right, because
That's
when we're
our
gigging, come on.
walk on song, innit?
we,
Yeah.
we have a couple of tunes on, and then as soon as we hear the Bee
Boom,
Gees,
boom,
you
boom,
should be
boom,
dancing.
boom, boom,
That's stage
boom,
time. Then
boom.
get away from the bar.
We
You gotta
know.
get on stage, and then the next song we're on. Then
Oh, and you have
That's
Because
like-
we're,
always
we're
like
literally
welcome
at the
music
bar
like
having a
that.
drink,
Yeah.
speaking
You
to
hear
everyone, all that, and then you just put it on, boom, boom,
Jakey
boom,
the boy.
boom.
Do you know when
boom,
you have the
boom.
tunes on in the venue, and it's like at a certain level in it, and then the lights just go down, and then it goes quiet for a bit, so that you know someone's coming on, and it just goes boom, 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 dead loud like that. It's classic.
Yeah.
Like the BTs.
So therefore, they'd have to go on just before you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are you going on last? Yeah?
No,
Maybe not. No.
no, I don't think we go on last, no.
You can't have
Go on, your
BGs
choice.
opening
Then.
up this
3
career.
choices it was.
I'd
So,
have
there you
Sam
go.
Fender
You picked
on
one.
next.
Right, Sam
Yeah,
Fender, yeah. That cover you did fantastic, by the way. I like that.
Yeah.
I had it on in the house, and my missus says to me, "You shouldn't even realise that it was a cover." I was like, "What?" She's obviously tone deaf as well, by the way. But, like, I hope she watches.
Sure,
But yeah, but I was just like, because she says it's like recorded so well that it did sound like it was like the official one. I was like,
Right.
Nice.
okay. So go on, you're saying Sam Fender. Who you saying?
What was the question again?
So you've
You've
got
got
the
3 bands, we're booking the bands.
Yeah.
Buckingham.
We've been on, Bee Gees have been on, we've been on, Sam Fender's been on,
Well,
who's last?
I'm gonna go for my guilty pleasure then.
go on then,
Madonna.
Madonna.
Yeah,
Madonna
Is
last.
she headlining?
I like Madonna, me.
Well, that's a
getting
new one.
clipped.
I
That's
didn't know
getting
that. I didn't know that.
I like Madonna, but she wouldn't be closing my
Yeah,
drink gig. I'm like,
I
no.
No,
no.
that was,
Madonna.
yeah, man.
That's a class one. Well, tell you what,
got
I'd go
some
to that
tunes,
gig
Madonna.
anyway,
Yeah,
wouldn't
She's
you?
got some tunes.
I would. It'd be weird as fuck, but I'd be going.
Hey, you'd go though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Bee Gees, Acoustic Odds, Sam Fender, Madonna headlining. Oh,
That'd
it
be
sounds a
some
bit like Glastonbury, doesn't it? Screaming
right.
it.
So where and when he is doing it? So what you saying?
Oh wow.
It's
Got to be up north.
Gotta
Gotta
be-
north of Birmingham, haven't we?
Gotta be Wembley.
Yeah.
totally
North
like the other
Straight
way.
up north.
Right.
It's gotta be
right?
Wembley, innit? They travel loads to do the boxing and all that, and the big shows in.
You're
in
making some
England.
big coin if you've got like Madonna on as well. You know what I mean? So it'd have to be
yeah.
somewhere like Wembley. You can't go in the O2 Arena.
No,
with,
can you that, mate? No, unless you do it in the kitchen, of course.
Get
There is
them all.
always that option, isn't there?
Yeah.
Get them all on Spike Island, innit?
Oh yeah,
do, yeah.
That's a good
No,
shout.
you can't do it. Tarnish the Rose's legacy with that horrendous fucking lineup. Can't do that, can you?
Right. So where you having it? Wembley.
Wembley.
Right. No worries. Any dating specific that you would do it? Is it?
Summertime.
It'd have to be somewhere, yeah,
somewhere,
open
yeah.
air sort of venue
I
there.
reckon it sounds like a fucking great Christmas present myself.
Yeah.
Just after your Christmas dinner, head down to Wembley.
Yeah. So we'll say summertime. Summertime will work. So the next section is called Flop or Bop. Have you seen this at all?
Flop or bop.
Right. So basically, I'm going to read 5 tracks to you, and you've got to tell me flop if you think they're absolute shite, and bop if you think they're the bangers.
Yeah.
But it might change it up a bit for you. We'll say only bop it if you think you could do a cover of it. Is that
Yeah,
good shout?
sound
Go with
good.
that, yeah?
Sound right.
So this is Flop or Bop with Acoustic Odds, and we're kicking things off. I've went down the dance route, if that's all right.
That's
I went
fine.
for dance classics because I think if I started doing like sort of rocky stuff, I don't think it would have landed as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Kelly Lorena, Tell It to My Heart.
Tell it to my
Yeah,
heart.
that's up there. That's a
Tell
bop.
me I'm the only
That's a
one.
bop.
Yeah, we
Did we not
definitely
try
bop
that
that.
once?
I think we might have.
Oh, we could definitely
I
bop
reckon
that.
bop that, yeah.
Defo.
Do you think you could pull off a good version of that?
Yeah,
Easy.
definitely.
Easy.
Interesting. Real McCoy, Another Night.
What another
Oh.
night, another dream.
That's taking me back to the boundary, that. Playing pool, smoking fun.
I'm not sure whether or not it'd be a great cover, but we could bop it.
Okay.
I think we could bop
No,
it. Yeah.
I think we'd flop
I
that
think
one.
it's a flop for me. Only personally me for the
Unless
song.
Mike don't
That's
like-
because these two don't know the song.
That might be
Oh,
right.
I think that's in it. Mike
the
don't
one.
like that.
You two would have to do it. He's the man singing. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's
imagine.
it.
Harmonise it.
Yeah.
I talk to you.
There
no,
you go.
It'd be a flop.
Of course.
After doing that bit.
Because obviously I put these out and I just I picked them to suit the guest, these flopper bops. So a lot of the time, a lot of them will be all bops. And I put this in and I thought these lot won't like this at all.
Go on.
So next one is GX. There's Nothing I Won't Do.
There's
like
nothing
that.
I won't
We
do.
did try that one.
Anything you want
we
me
did
to,
try that
I
one.
can
but
I've
get
got a
my
demo of
hands
that
off you.
somewhere.
There's
did.
nothing I won't do.
You'll have to send me
There's
that.
nothing I
I,
won't do.
I personally
Anything you
bought
want me
this
to,
Yeah,
I
I think
can
that's
keep my
because
hands
I
off
think you would do a good version
Do
of
you know
that.
what? I think it was dead good.
It just didn't
apart
go anywhere,
from-
did it? After
Yeah,
the
in fact, that was it. Yeah, we tried
It was
it.
just
Yeah, we have
sort
tried
of like
it, yeah.
It's
linear.
lyrically because the covers and how we were trying to do them, we were trying to make them into like verse chorus songs.
Yeah.
But that just got one tagline and then they
There's nothing I won't
and
do.
we didn't give it enough time.
It's
We did we to
production
try
and
and do
all,
it.
yeah.
But we got
I
something
think
good
it
out
could
of
be
I'll
a
send you
A lot of
demo
them,
of it.
a lot of them slipped off, and we couldn't do it.
But just because we
we've
found
not got
better
enough
ones
in
as
them.
well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know
Makes
what I mean?
sense. Right, and the last one for today, this came from John, my production partner, and he said he'd never heard of us, which when I said, "Oh, I'm doing a podcast with these lads," and he was like, "All right, okay," and then I sent him some stuff, and he was like, "Wow, this is good,
Nice.
this right?"
Yeah,
he really,
nice
really,
one, John, bye.
He enjoyed it, and he said, "Do you know I could hear them singing?" And this is what he said: "Savage Garden, truly madly deeply."
No,
See,
man,
that's
yeah.
it's a guilty pleasure for me.
See,
that.
yeah,
I
it'd
like
be
that.
easy, wouldn't it? It'd
I
be
like
easy.
that. We'd have to
Easy
mix it
because
up.
it's one
though.
of them growing
Yeah.
up that you know
Do you
said
think
it was
you
into
think
the
you
boy
could
bands and all
do a version of that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I'd know it straight away because the song, I know the song title. How's it go again?
I'm not singing it.
You're the singer.
I'll be your wish, I'll be. Is it what? I'll be your fantasy.
I'll be your
Love,
what's
I'll
the
be
chorus
your
though?
love,
What's the
be
chorus now?
everything that you need.
Yeah, I know that, but
love
what's the
you
chorus for it?
I wanna stay with you on a
the
I know it, yeah,
mountain.
man, yeah.
Do you think you could do a version of that? Yeah, Little Bob?
Me and Mike could on the piano.
Right, no drums.
Yeah, no,
No
drums for that
drums.
one.
Just piano and vocal. We could do it, yeah.
Just get that one kick drum. Get that
Go
away.
back to the old school, yeah,
Yeah.
acoustic on strumming.
Yeah, and that was flop or buff for today.
Well,
So
we love Flop Our
Nice,
Bop,
that was
that was
good,
there was
Yeah.
there was a few tunes there. When I was like picking them out the list, I was like, "Oh wow, this you could hear it." And then when I heard Another Night, I was like, "Nah." So this next section is called Throwback Attack. Basically, I'm gonna give you scenarios, and you've got to tell me the first song that you think of. Is that all right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll go this way. This way. It's all right. So, what song do you think of when you think back to primary school?
Spice Girls.
Which-
Song. It's just that Spice Girls album, like
Spice.
98.
Spice, yeah.
Spice, yeah.
Okay.
Wannabe.
Wanna be
I'll
go
go
on.
straight in with Wannabe.
For me, it'd be.
I wanna be a hippie and I wanna get stoned on my
Oh, I have
Is that
got
your
another
primary
one though.
school?
If we could have two,
Okay, go on then.
Out Here Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Class. What's the fin tune called?
Boom, boom, boom. Let me say, way up,
Yeah.
way up.
So does that remind you of primary school? Yeah. Go on,
If I
primary school.
could fucking go on.
Mine will be a mad one here because the first thing that literally comes to my head then was a kid's birthday party and seeing a girl singing, but the profile of her face singing along song, and it was Mr. Vane.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no.
Do you know what? I've
Can't
just, one just
And
clicked
it
in
was
my
how
head
she was
that
doing it
actually
like that.
really takes me back to primary school is the Scat Man.
the Scat Man.
The Scat Man. And remember that coming out and everyone was trying to do the Scat Man.
See,
Yeah.
I thought I had taste in music. You see, right? I thought, I've got a big vary. I like heavy metal. I like I like. The only thing I don't really like is jazz. I think jazz. I can't
I
understand
don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Yeah.
You've got to be into that. I
Straight.
think.
But I like dance music. I like the harder style of dance music. I like the slow, slower, more
Classical,
noise.
anything like that.
I like classical. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
classical as well. But for some reason, I realised I don't have taste in music. When I was writing these questions out, and I said, "What song do you think of in primary school?" I think of Barbie, Dr. Jones, and I'm like, "Wow,
Yeah.
that's terrible! What a terrible taste!" Like,
yeah.
my childhood is Barbie, Dr. Jones. Fucking hell.
Mad.
Right. Next one is, what song do you think of when I say secondary school?
It's a bit tougher.
I've got one
Do
for
you know
an
what?
album. Yeah.
Like, I was a lot into boy bands and stuff in secondary school. Glue, Westlife, those kind of things.
When you said boy bands, I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
Because that's what I was
It
into,
was,
because
yeah.
the singing part of it.
The
What was you
vocals, the
into it for?
harmonies, it was
You've
probably
got no
the harmonies
excuse,
and
mate.
stuff. I sing, man. I have a microphone. I
No,
have
you
a
don't.
microphone.
I have to tell you to
Right.
sing.
But
You won't do it
yeah,
for me.
Westlife. What's it? Whole of the World. What's it called?
Whole of the Moon.
It's not. What's it called? Yeah, I'll just go with Westlife. Yeah.
Westlife.
Coldplay, Parachutes, but it was late on in high school.
Right.
But it was like brilliant. When that come out, the album, boom.
I've gone with
Go on,
Spice
then.
Girls and Westlife.
High school.
What's his name? The thing you the Verve tune? Because we used to walk down the corridors like that, fucking bad.
Sonnet.
No,
Bittersweet Symphony.
Symphony. Yeah, excellent tune. I love that tune.
Yeah, tune.
What song do you think of when you think of the band?
Touch Me.
Yeah. Is that what you think? Is that the first thing you think of? Yeah.
Of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously, there's Hold the Moon, but
Yeah.
Touch Me as well.
Right, interesting. What do you think of when you think when you tell someone this is my
I
band?
mean, a band.
Oh, if we was telling them, it would be Hold of the Moon.
No, not telling them because obviously, but like when you say to yourself,
When you
I've got
think-
a band. What's the first song that comes to your head?
Hold of the Moon.
Probably,
Because,
yeah.
because that's what they're going to know us for. If they don't know us, it's like, oh, I'm in a band, and they go, oh, what band you in? Have you ever seen that video?
Yeah, well, I suppose there is that.
Is that you?
It's not the favourite. I wouldn't say it's the
No,
favourite
it's
to
not.
play, but it's the one. If you said, yeah.
Yeah. What is the favourite to play out of curiosity?
I still like Brothers and
Mine's
Sisters.
Touch Me. Mine's Touch Me to
Or
play. I love
Fantasy.
playing that.
Fantasy's good because it's late on.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of energy in it, and
I don't know.
everyone's
Probably,
usually drunk.
we do a bit of Shaka Khan, don't we? Ain't nobody
Shaka
like playing
Khan's
that.
good.
Yeah.
I like
Sing,
playing.
yeah.
We play Unfinished Sympathy as well by Massive Attack. I like playing that one as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
What song do you think of when you first think your first days of going out? So you're going out
clubbing.
to clubs or pubs or whatever.
Mine would be Silence.
Silence.
Yeah.
Yep. Class.
True Love Never Dies.
Really?
Yeah, that was that era.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith's in Warrington.
Yeah,
We're not there
the
yet.
World for me in Warrington. The World. It was a dodgy club, but it was brilliant. And Silence. I remember it being massive then. And also Bullet in the Gun was again
Bullet in
that
the
time.
Class
And that was
tune.
when I first started clubbing. Yeah, I was underage.
Ian Brown for me. You know when he was doing his solo stuff,
Yeah.
that's what I was banging to when I left school.
Right. So when you first started going out, that's the sort of tunes you would.
Yeah. When you're putting your cheap aftershave on before you go out. listening
Blue
to tunes.
jeans?
Yeah, that. Dad's pants on.
You
Yeah.
CK1 or your blue jeans?
The blue jeans for me. It fucking stunk as well, didn't it? Did
Cool
it even
Waters.
smell nice?
Cool
Nobody
Waters.
smells it now, you like
Yeah,
that.
man.
I still like Cool Waters, mate. I've got a bottle of that. I'll wear that just for me every
For
day.
work and that.
Yeah.
What song do you think of when you? I'll start with you this time, so you've got more
Yeah,
time
I've
to
got
think.
more time to think. I've got the same because I've got the Spice Girls and Westlife. Let's go.
What song do
It
you
was
think
a
of?
panic.
Your
sorry.
golden era.
Say that again.
Your golden era. In your opinion,
The music wise,
your
what
peak.
decade?
Yeah, your
Oh, it has to be when I was growing up. I always say to these, Liam Gallagher was the fucking coolest man in the whole world between 1995 and 1997. Yeah,
Shout.
man, that's for me. Yeah.
shout. Go on.
The best era for me would be the 80s to slap on. If
Was
I was slapping it, you mean
Was it the best
music-wise?
era? Was that the
Music wise,
question?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
what your name a song, what's a
Golden
song
era.
that comes? Yeah, your golden era. Like in your opinion,
were
where
alive
it's like
then.
music was at its best.
Oh, right, in my lifetime, the 90s, yeah.
Right.
yeah,
So
when
if you
it
have to
was
pick a song,
Oasis.
Liam,
What's the story, Morning Glory? That
Okay.
when that album, the whole thing about
Yeah.
that was like probably the height of Britpop, weren't it?
Yeah.
If you like,
Yeah.
that for me.
Oasis, Blur, and that
That
what
sort
doing
of
now.
What about for you?
So probably when we started the band about 05, like that era, like Killers, Mr. Brightside, Block Party, Arctic Monkeys just coming out and all that then.
Yeah.
I read
Probably
a
the
fact the
Killers
other
one.
day. This is absolutely mind blowing, but apparently, if streaming worked in favour of actual like popularity, because it's like there's managed decline and stuff like that. So if you bring an album out, if it peaks later on, it's harder to get into the charts, etc. Right. If it was solely off the numbers, that Mr. Brightside wouldn't have left the top 3 in the UK since it was released.
Really?
That's insane numbers, that, isn't it?
Well, you see that anyway if you just any bar or anywhere you go
Soon
where there's
everyone
live
knows
music,
it.
as soon as it gets played, whether it's by a DJ or a band, the place just goes
Yeah.
off, and everyone knows the words and everyone's singing
That's
it.
impressive though. Top 3, and that what it was released what? We coming up 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Would it be 20 now?
18, 19.
18, yeah, it's
You only know,
2005,
my
yeah.
brother-in-law lives literally just over the back of ours, right? And he'd gone to his neighbours or his next door one neighbours for a garden party a week or two ago, right? And she's 80 odd. It was her birthday, right? And yeah, you could hear the music in the garden. It was dead quiet, you know, just like random old tunes and that.
Yeah.
And you heard Mr. Brightside come on. Every fucking place.
do?
That. I
Oh,
hate
yeah,
it. To
of
be
course,
honest with you, I
yeah.
can't stand it.
That's a
mate.
great song.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think it's great. It's just overplayed. That's
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
what I
that
mean. That's
peak
why I
era,
hate
like
it,
you
because I've
said,
heard it that
isn't
many
it?
times.
Yeah.
You're like, fucking hell.
right. And we're going to finish up today with. I told you about it before, so hopefully you've had a think about it. He's about to get the electric chair because what was the reason? You released the album, it flopped, and have said, listen, we're bringing back the electric chair because
The
it's not
crimes
bad.
against music.
Yeah, crimes against
well,
music. So you've got one last meal, right? You'll have a starter, main, dessert, and a beverage to wash it down. What you're having? I'll start with you.
Starter, main, dessert, and bevy.
Yeah, you
Right.
can. You don't need to have all 3, but that's what I'm offering.
Oh no, I'll have the fucking lot of them going down.
Yeah.
I'll have, as a starter, I like a prawn cocktail, mate. The
Nice.
seafood
In the
sauce
glass.
and
I
that on
reckon,
it.
I reckon
Like a
without
little-
saying, I think I know what his
In a
main
nice
meal
little
is.
posh one. And it'd have to be, as my main meal, I'd want like a proper big fucking nice steak, like a tomahawk fucker. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some chips and that, some blue cheese sauce to dip it in, and a rack of ribs.
Steak, a rack of ribs.
Yeah.
You're going out. You don't need to watch it.
And
Yeah,
half
it's
chicken,
his last meal, mate. You can have what you want.
Yeah.
But that's about piles at that point, are you? I'd have jam roly-poly and custard, and then I'd have a pint of Coca-Cola with one ice cube in it.
Full fat.
Full fat.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'd have.
It was. You were peaking there up until you said the Coca-Cola. I just can't do full fat Coke. I'm not a fan.
I'd have
But
to
other than that,
really.
though, that sounds amazing. To be
Yeah.
fair.
You love it, though. You don't drink a lot.
Did you guess that right? Were you thinking that?
I actually was thinking mixed grill,
Right. Okay. Oh,
but there's a
it's-
steak on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the thing is with the mixed grill, the chicken's always dry. Otherwise, I would have said it mixed grill.
Yeah, I
The
was
chicken's
thinking
always
mixed
shit,
grill, I won't lie.
So go on then. What you having?
Mine would have to be, I'm a big foodie and I like lots of it. Because it's my last one, I wouldn't order this at a restaurant now,
Yeah.
by the way, but because I'm on Death's Door and it's my last meal, it'd have to be a shirring platter.
Right. Okay.
Am I going to
Hey,
share
get in
it
there,
when
son.
you think? Nobody.
Nobody.
But I would have to ask for some goat cheese on it because my favourite starter is anything with goat cheese on. Right, so there's my starter done.
So a bit of everything with
That's
goat
your
cheese
starter.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my starter, yeah.
Right. Go on.
My main meal, again, would probably be a steak like Bevo, but if not, I had this pasta once in Italy and it was the finest thing I've ever had, and it was like...
Truffles or
It was
something
truffles,
like that.
but it was apricot. And what else was in it? The best thing I've ever had, and I still can't tell you what it was. But it was unbelievable anyway. So it's like this apricot pasta. That sounds strange, but it was amazing.
Right.
And then for me dessert, I would probably have either cheesecake or sticky pudding. It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It'd
Both
be-
good shouts.
Cheesecake.
Right.
And then not one of the fancy ones with all the fruit, just cheesecake.
Right. And what are you washing it down with?
I'll be washing it down with, I'd have to say rosé wine lemonade on there.
Okay. I like it.
Piss before the
Yeah,
electric chair.
yeah,
Yeah.
bottle of it. In fact, 3 bottles of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
In
remember
a jug.
both, do you?
3 bottles in a jug and I'd down it all in one.
Right. Go on then.
Starter, I'll go with calamari. Love calamari.
Not a bad shout.
Nice little bit of alioli.
You're probably getting calamari in your mixed
Something
starter.
like that.
It would be in a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the mixed starter, if I could name it, it'd have a lot of things on it.
Yeah.
Not to be boring again, but a steak. You can't beat
What
steak
style?
on death's door.
You
I
give
like
me
a
a
fillet, but
fillet,
mustard, no sauce. English mustard. Coleman's English mustard.
Yeah, it has to be Coleman's as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got to be.
I like halloumi and like roasted tomatoes with my chips.
Can I change?
It's a bit more
Onion
decadent,
rings.
this,
Can
isn't
I
it?
change mine?
Yeah.
Can I
Because
change
we're
it?
old. Dessert. I was thinking an Arctic roll, but I think I'll go with a cheese board, grapes, a little bit
Oh,
of
I don't
fruit.
know, you
And
just
red
got
wine.
Never got woo.
And red
And
wine's
a red wine. It's
finished.
going to be a 19 crimes red wine.
Dark.
Do you know when you can just go off people?
It's an Arctic roll. Come on.
No, you start to grow, but then change it to cheese board. It's like
Oh yeah, no,
cheese. That's it. I love cheese.
I do like cheese, but I'd have it for
That's a
starter.
dessert.
When
yeah.
we
You wouldn't have it on
rehearse
Death's Door, would you? The cheese board. Come on, Michael.
No, we're like civilised now. When we rehearse all that sex, drugs, and rock and roll shit,
No.
Yeah,
it's fucking what? It's like.
sex, drugs, and Arctic roll.
No, it's not that, is it?
Jam roll.
Yeah, and loads of sleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
What are you washing that down with?
A red, a 19 crimes red wine.
It's not a bad wine,
Like
that
a
either.
full body.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dark red.
I think Snoop has done one, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think Snoop's
I've-
done
I've
one. Is
seen
it?
it,
Is it
yeah.
19 crimes as well?
I haven't tried it.
No,
No,
I've not. But
I've just
yeah.
seen it on the shelf. I was just like, that's odd.
I'll have 3 bottles as well, though, please. Same as that.
Right, no worries. Right, I just want to thank you for coming on today. I think it's
Yes.
been an absolute blast, and I
Thank
hope you
you.
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I hope
yeah, it's
everyone
been
else has
great.
enjoyed it.
Great for us. Thank you.
If we can plug anything, go and have a listen to our album, and when we bring our original music out, please go and download it and listen to it, and let us keep doing this for our job.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yes, the people.
Thanks for having us.
I just want to say thank you to everyone for listening, and share it with your mates because, listen, it's how we grow, and it's we've got a nice cool community going at the minute, and if people are sharing it, then it could only reach new ears. You don't realise how much things like that, like social media and that helps. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for listening. You can sign up at Patreon at patreon.com/itstimetoriffresh. You get that early access and you get bonus episodes as well. Thank you, and thanks again.
Yes, the
Yes,
people.
nice one, Brad. Yes,
Cheers,
the
Brad.
people.